I'm Carrie, and I am back to film my, I don't know if this is number 8 or 9. I thought it was number 8. And like right on cue, Whiskey's looking out the window, woofing. I don't see anything out there. So I have some cross stitch to share, and I'm also going to share some quilting. I thought I would make it into 2 separate videos, but really for me to just like sit down and film, it takes so much out of me. I figure I'm just going to do it all in one, and it'll just be like a QuiltTube crossover, and I'll save it to each of my playlists. I think I have one for Flosstube and one for QuiltTube. So if you're interested in the quilting, you can hang around. That'll be at the latter half, I guess, of this video. Maybe not half. I don't have that much to share, but so yeah, so I'll start with my cross stitch. I have a couple of things I've worked on since my last video. Not an overwhelming amount. I'm actually kind of disappointed. I feel like I haven't done that much. I've been writing down what I've been working on, but at the same time, I feel like I should have done more in 3 weeks. So let's see, I've got at least, I think I just have one finish. I guess I do have one. I mean, I started and finished something since my last video. I guess that's something. So I have a finish to share, and of course I have a good amount of haul. I don't think it's too bad, the amount of haul. I think I've been pretty well behaved, actually. So but yeah, first, a couple of life updates. Jake and I took a trip to Galveston Beach. I guess that was last week. We stayed at the Grand Galvez, which is a historic hotel right on the beach, and it's super haunted, which is why I wanted to go. This is our second time visiting the Galvez. The first time we went, I tried really hard to book the haunted room, which is room 501. And when I was booking this trip, the haunted room was available. So I was like, I'm going to go ahead and book it. So we did stay 2 nights in the haunted room. And the story behind the haunted room, you need to put a mint in that dumpster. The story behind the haunted room, it was occupied by a woman named Audra, who she stayed there in the 1950s. She was engaged to a mariner who was out at sea, and she was just waiting for him to come back from sea so they could get married. And so every night she would go up onto the roof. She would climb up a ladder and get up onto the roof and wait for him to return. And then one day she received news that there was a really bad storm and everyone on the ship was lost at sea, including her fiance. So she did not give up hope right away. She continued waiting, I think for maybe 3 more nights, until she gave up, and she unfortunately hung herself from the west turret of the hotel. And what's even more tragic is a couple of days later, her fiance actually did return. He had been rescued by a passing ship. So very tragic, very sad story. But the room we stayed in, they had just remodeled it, and all of the decor was really interesting. It was all kind of like pink and Victorian-esque. It was really pretty. But there was a huge painted portrait of a woman in a wedding gown right by the bed. And so I wasn't too big of a fan of that at first, but the longer we were there, the more I was like, yeah, it's fine. I'm not really, it's fine. And then the hotel also put a Ouija board in the room, which I don't do Ouija boards, so we didn't really mess with that at all. That's kind of like my limit, I guess. And then the front desk gave us complimentary EMF detectors, so those were kind of fun to play around with. And anyway, there are other stories in the hotel of hauntings. They have a spa on site, so you go down past the bar to the spa, and right by the spa there is a woman's restroom, and it has been, well, I'll tell you my experience. Apparently, there is a waiter, I think, that used to work at the hotel back when that side of the hotel was like laundry. Apparently there's a waiter that haunts that side. And he appears in the woman's restroom, usually in the mirrored reflections. They have mirrors in the bathroom that face each other. So the story kind of goes, if you go in there with your camera and you take a selfie in front of these mirrors, there's a chance he might show up in the background in the mirror as a reflection. And I didn't get anything, unfortunately. I was not lucky, but there is a picture I found on Facebook, because they have one of the hotel workers moonlights as a ghost tour giver, and she knows all the stories and all the stuff that goes on. So she actually had a picture that people had taken, and I'll have Jake insert it here, but you can see that there's clearly a man in the woman's restroom, and he's not supposed to be there. So other things that can happen, sometimes if you're in the bathroom alone, one of the toilets next to you will flush by itself. That happened to me. I was the only one in there, and the toilet flushed next to me, so that was fine. They also have hauntings of like little children, because back in 1900 there was a really bad storm. It was like the most disastrous storm in U.S. history. Like thousands of people died. I mean, it was a horrible, horrible storm, and it's what led to the Galveston seawall being constructed. So at the time, I think there was an orphanage down the road from where the Galvez is now, and I think it's where the old Walmart used to be, or where the Walmart currently is. There used to be an orphanage there, and it was run by nuns. And the nuns, I mean, they knew there was a storm coming, and in order to prepare, these nuns had taken old bed sheets and ripped them up and made them into like rope, and they tied the sheets into like they made like a human chain. They had a nun, and then they would tie the children by the waist and make like a train so that they would stay together. But what ended up happening was the nun, I think somebody got pulled underwater, and as a result, the weight of that person pulled everyone else down. So after the storm was over, there were a lot of bodies on the beach of young children, these orphans and nuns. Very tragic. So there are children that supposedly haunt this hotel, and I didn't encounter any of that. I think there also used to be an ice cream shop near that woman's bathroom, because sometimes there's rumors of a small child whispering in people's ear ice cream. I didn't experience any of that, but it was fun, and we had a good time. Like we spent most of our time at the bar in the hotel, because the bar is really fun. It's just a cool bar. So we just worked our way through their whole menu, and Tuesday night, sorry, I just burped. I don't know like how well that mic picks up things like that. So Tuesday night, we took our EMF detectors and we went ghost hunting, because nothing was really happening in 501. I had been to the women's bathroom so many times, and I had taken so many pictures and did not get any ghostly reflections or anything. I couldn't even get the toilet to flush by itself. So I just wanted something interesting to happen. So we got our EMF detectors, and I'm pretty sure we ended up in a part of the hotel that was not supposed to be accessible, but they left stuff unlocked. So we went up to the 7th floor, because the 8th floor is not connected to the elevator yet. So we went up to the 7th floor and got out, and happened to find a stairwell that was open. And Jake at this point is like 3 sheets to the wind, and he's like going on up, and I'm like, okay, let's go. So we get up to the 8th floor and discover that they're remodeling it. So I'm thinking later this year they're gonna have it's like penthouse suites available to rent on the 8th floor, like really nice. Looked like they were gonna have a couple of rooms that they're gonna rent. I can't imagine someone would want to live up there, but it's kind of it's where like Audra hung herself. So I would imagine with all of the construction and remodeling, maybe that's stirring up some energy, but we kind of wandered around and held up the EMF detectors in various locations. And I went over to where I believe the west turret was, kind of figured out where exactly I needed to stand. And we looked around and we found like a shower, a huge walk-in shower that they had just finished tiling. So there was no electricity, there's no outlets or any lights in there. But there was an open window that was completely open, like there was no screen, nothing. So that was a little off-putting, but went in there and I held up the EMF detector and it spiked all the way to red. So that was kind of cool. So I don't know, maybe that's about the location where she died. I don't know. But anyway, we had fun. We ate a lot of seafood. We went to Murdoch's, which is kind of across the street and down some, because they have like, you can get frozen slushy adult drinks. So we always go and do that. And it's kind of sat on the beach, and I cross-stitched at the bar. I brought my Plum Street samplers this Joyous season, which I started at the Galvez 2 years ago when we went. I started it on 32 count, and now that I'm more, I enjoy 36 and 40 count more. I wanted to restart it on 36 count, and so I chose to restart it on this trip so that I still have the memories of the Galvez while I work on it. So, what else? I got bit by a snake. Whiskey was outside, and he was going crazy at the fence. And on the other side of the, sorry, my nose is just so itchy. He was going crazy at the fence where there's a lot of brush and overgrown shrubs and stuff from like the woods. And we've seen several cottontail bunnies out there, and I just figured, oh, he sees a bunny. But he kept going on and on and on. And he's a dachshund, and so I just want him to be a dog and get to fulfill his hunting instincts. And so finally I was like, okay, fine. I'm going to put his leash and his harness on, and I'm going to take him over there, and we're going to settle this once and for all, and we're just going to let him like see if he can sniff out whatever it is he's upset about. And anyway, I put him on the harness and the leash, and I take him over there. And we used to have cows on this property, and you can see where they've kind of walked pathways through heavy brush. So there are like trails, they're just narrow trails and pathways, and they're slowly becoming overgrown again. But he starts dragging me into this brush. I don't know if anyone knows what yopon is. It's a very invasive weed essentially, but it's like thick roots and stalks and branch. I don't know if stalks is the right word, but hard to get rid of, and it grows crazy good here. So most of what we're going through is yopon. And so he's pulling me down this little trail, and I look up, and I'm just trying to keep up with this dog so that he can hunt, safely. He's pulling me down this little trail, and I look up, and my last thought is, why is there a rope hanging between these two shrubs? And right when it gets about here, I realize it's a snake. And I shrieked, and I slapped it away with my hand in a panic, like just instinctively, and it bit me. So it was not venomous. I took a few pictures of it, which I'll have Jake put in, but I couldn't like get its head, so we couldn't really identify it, I guess. God, my nose is so itchy. But yeah, I ended up like going to get we have this little grabby thing, like for extendable reach. It's like a long arm that has, so I went and I got that, and I went back into the shrub to try to like find it. Cause I was like, if I have to go to the emergency room, I want to know like what kind of snake bit me. So I went back in there to try to find it, and it was gone. But, everything we were able to find out, it's pretty much, it was a rat snake, because they're the only snakes that really climb, and there was no reason for any other snake to be 6 feet above the ground. Well, not 6 feet, because I'm only 5'6", but yeah, like right here, chest high. So that was fun. I was bleeding, and it hurt a little bit, but it wasn't really a big deal. I was just happy that I lived to tell about it. So we'll not be letting Whiskey investigate those bushes anymore. He's just going to have to get over it. We also, let me see my notes here. I swear my nose did not itch this bad like 2 hours ago. I had a major fabric destash. I went through my sewing room closet and I purged and I purged and I purged. And I'm so thankful to those of you who helped me get rid of this stuff. I feel so much better. I have so much more room in not only in my sewing room, but in my mind, because looking around and seeing all this unsewn fabric and all these projects that have been just festering for years, I mean, it was making me feel really guilty. And I just decided I need to focus on what I really want to work on. And I can't do that if I'm surrounded by all these things that make me feel bad and guilty. So really glad to get my stash back down to a reasonable amount so that I can refocus my energy toward working on what I really want to make. So she's getting so heavy. Can I put you down now? We'll see if she lets me. Yeah, fabric destash. And then possibly the most recent thing. Oh, Ginger, but you're heavy. Oh, it's hurting my arm. Okay. So the most recent thing that happened was Whiskey. We don't know what he ate outside. He had to have eaten some kind of plant or bug or rodent. I don't know. I mean, it's so hard to keep an eye on him sometimes because he's so fast. And he's a dachshund and they do not listen. They're stubborn. Whiskey does what Whiskey wants to do most of the time. And last Friday night at midnight, he vomited in his crate. And then Saturday he was fine. He ate breakfast, and then we had an Easter egg hunt because we do that for them every year. We just put some kibble in the plastic eggs and put them around the yard, and then they just go and they break them open and eat the kibble. We did that, and then he played with his ball for a while, and then maybe about because we came in and rested, and then at dinner time, I put food in his bowl, and he didn't want it. And when your dog doesn't want to eat, our dogs are so food oriented, like immediately we were like, oh God, what is wrong? So couldn't get him to eat. Well, I take that back. I think Jake, I don't know, we encouraged him and we're like, you can eat your food. Come on, eat your food. And so he did eat, but then at 9 o'clock, he threw it all up. So that was concerning. And then Sunday, he would not eat breakfast. I don't know. I'm getting my days confused. I just know there was a lot of vomiting and he couldn't keep food down. He was able to keep water down. But if you were following me on Instagram back in May of 2022, you'll know that he has had a stomach blockage before that required surgery. So we were really concerned and nervous. And I was in a tailspin Sunday night. I was just so I don't know. I'm so attached to these dogs, and anytime there's any kind of issue, I'm circling the drain half the time. So that was Easter. And I actually emailed our vet on Easter Sunday, that afternoon, and he answered me. And, I said, can we bring Whiskey in tomorrow? There's something wrong. And he said, yeah, you can come in at 8:30. So Monday morning we were at the vet and they gave him, they did a stomach x-ray, which was clear, thank goodness, because if there was anything blocking his intestines anywhere, it would be in the x-ray. So got that done and that was clear. So that was a relief. And then they gave him an anti-nausea injection and sent us home with special wet food and anti-nausea tablets and probiotic powder and an anti-diarrheal just in case, because we weren't really sure. He'd had a little bit of diarrhea Sunday, but we really hadn't seen much from him, so I wasn't sure what to expect. and our vet's like 35 minutes away. So we loaded up on everything we could. And he pretty much had a quick turnaround after that. He did much better with the anti-nausea injection, and he's pretty much back to his rascally, mischievous self. So what a relief. We're very, very relieved, because we're very attached to our animals. But anyway, that's pretty much all that's been going on here. I'm going to get into my cross stitch now. I'm sorry if you've just been sitting here like waiting. I thought I was going to get through that much faster. Oh my gosh, it's been 22 minutes. Okay. All right, I'm going to get my cross stitch and I will be right back. Okay, so I have a start and a finish. I've been working on the Abecedarian. Where's my pattern? Patterns are over there. The Abecedarian, well, it's Lessons in Abecedarian Summer Schoolhouse series with I Needle and Thread. It's a very long pattern title. I'm just going to grab the... Several people have been showing these lately. I have done lessons 1 and 2, which is the first part of the alphabet. So I started this one. This is lesson number 3, and then after this there's one more lesson, number 4. And this one, in addition to this pin cushion, there's also a little horn book, which I've talked to April. What's her Etsy shop name? I'll figure it out. I'll put it on the screen. I talked to her about making me a little teeny horn book so that I could do something kind of like that finish. And then there's also a little bitty strawberry. And all of these, the pattern has all of these stitched on 28 count 1/1, and I didn't want to do that. So I'm using 36 count fabric, but I did go ahead and order 28 count so that I could do the little strawberry and the little horn book, just because I've never done a strawberry, but if I do a strawberry, I want it to look just like the image on the pattern cover. So I'm going to go ahead and do that as called for. But I've already finished, so I've done the big pillow here and the lady. And I have those here to show y'all. I've showed these before, but they're kind of big on 36 count, but it's real cute. Strawberries and birds. And then the back side, this is a laundry basket fabric that I covered the hole with some lace. And then I have the lady finished as well. And I did the cording myself with whatever the DMC substitution was for the gray in the pattern. It's supposed to be it's Weeks Dye Works Flatfish. But since I was going to make cording, I just got the DMC for the cording. But they're really cute and fun. And so I decided to start. I was bored one night and I wanted something easy. So I went ahead and started the other part of lesson 2, which is the man. I'll hold this, or I'll show this on my top-down camera in a minute. But I had just gotten, so I had gone on Facebook Marketplace and I had found an antique, like an old antique school desk, like children's school desk. And so I had this idea. I'm going to get a dough bowl. I'm going to fill it up with these little pillows. And I'm going to put the little dough bowl on the desk, and it'll be like a cute little schoolhouse display. So that kind of lit a fire under me to get some of these stitched up and finished. So I will switch to my top-down camera and share this up close. Okay. So I finished lesson 2, which is the man and the woman. So I'm going to finish the man just like I did the other one. And then, again, this is lesson 1. So now I am on lesson 3. So I started this, I think I started it right before we left for Galveston. I'm like so far away. Okay. So this is lesson number 3. And these patterns you can still buy. I got all 4 of them from Hobby House, but I think you can still get them from Brenda's website, which is countrystitchesonline.com. So I got, let's see if I can zoom in actually. That'd be helpful. It's like super bouncy. Maybe I should just stand over here. Just do this sideways. Good God. You think I've never done this before? Nope. Oh hell. All right, well there's a close-up of number 3, and I don't have a whole lot more to go on that. I've got to do the border, the text at the bottom, and then of course the letters. But the house, once I get that filled in, the house is pretty much where all the stitching is. So I will continue working on that. And the other thing I worked on was the Skipjack sampler. Who is this by? Ardith Designs, I think, it did this pattern. And I saw, I think Frizzy Lizzy Stitches shared her finish, and I loved the colors so much that I had to go and get it. It's not something I would normally typically stitch, but I love the colors. So the fabric is called I Lilac You a Lot by Fiberlicious, and I am using, I think it's X Stitch MD's floss conversion to Roxy floss. And I've never used Roxy floss before, but I really like it. And the only thing I did different was when I went to go look for the orange and the green colors that she called for, I couldn't find them, so I just blindly guessed and chose off the screen like 2 colors I hoped would work, and I think they work really well. So we have lime juice and vitamin C if you're interested in using the conversion of a conversion. But anyway, this is kind of like a summery stitch for me, so I think I might work on it. It's starting to get kind of hot outside, so I'm not sure if I want to work on it outside as much, but I do plan on keeping up with this. So that Skipjack sampler by Ardith Designs. And then the other project I worked on was Elizabeth Furniss. Let me zoom back out. She's just enormous. So this is new. I worked on that. And I kind of started filling in the border. I think I did the green, I don't know what you would call that, like stems and stuff down the border. And then I kind of filled in up at the top some more. But I worked on this for about 2 days and wish I had gotten more done, but maybe next time I show it, I'll have more to show. Because Whiskey got sick, and I try to stitch on the 19th for this project, and you know, couldn't focus because Whiskey wasn't feeling good. So that is Elizabeth Furniss by Hands Across the Sea Samplers, and I am stitching it on 36 count Bee's Knees by Seraphim. And I shamelessly copied everything from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, Olivia. And I think I'm even going to get the same frame that she got for hers from Hobby Lobby. I really liked everything she picked. So I'm going to keep up with that. And then my restart of this Joyous season started at the Galvez in Galveston. And this time I am doing it on 36 count up in the attic. I had started it on 32 and decided I don't really enjoy stitching with 2 threads. So got that. I wonder what that is. There's like a pink thread in there. Anyway, I just kind of started the house and the door, and I stitched the deer because I think when I was on the 32 count, I had done almost all of the text at the top. I had done the flowers at the top, I had done the roof, and most of the house. So I wanted to do something I hadn't stitched yet, so I really wanted to do the deer. So I just kind of had to do a little bit of the house, and then I had a guide to work off of. So I'm gonna keep plugging away at it. That's gonna be a long-term stitch. And that is all my cross stitch. Isn't that pitiful? Oh, I thought I was gonna have more to share. You'd think in 3 weeks I'd have done more. So I'm gonna go back and do haul. So I got my Seraphim Fabric of the Month Club. I am signed up for this through Garon Stitchery, and they send it out every month, and it is an exclusive hand-dyed piece of linen from Seraphim. This month it was almond cream, and I am doing the 36 count. So I have a little bit of linen to add to my ever-growing stash. And I also got, after market, people kept talking about Teresa Vignette's new patterns, and I think one of them called for Dark Soil by XG Designs, and I really just liked the linen. So of course it was selling out like everywhere because everyone was buying it. I just wanted a piece of it to have, so I ended up ordering mine directly from XG Designs. She's in Hungary, and it came I think in less than 2 weeks, and I got a half yard of 36 count. So once I figure out what I want to use it for, I'm trying to like, that looks pretty close. It's like a grayish chocolate brown, but I really like it. And plus it came with, if you order from her Etsy shop, she sends you little tiny like samples. This is a 32 count. I think it's ballet. Oh, it's Old Sheep. See, and I don't have any of that, and it's helpful to have a swatch so that if I want to order it, I know what it's going to look like more or less. So, plus you can use it for like a little ornament, just a cute little square of fabric. I also ordered, I had ordered the red box from Hands Across the Sea, and in that box there were a lot of coupons, and I wanted to use the coupons, so I ordered a piece of linen from Tabby Cat directly from her website. I got just the ticket, 36 count. I don't have any of this, and it just so happens that a couple of new charts that just came out call for it, so I am looking forward to trying this out. It seems like a really nice neutral to have. Here it is next to the Seraphim. Really nice. What else did I get? I think I had to order one spool of 103, and that feels stupid to order one spool of thread. So I had ordered from Welcome Stitchery, I think, and I figured while I'm at it, I'll just order a pattern. So I had not really seen this around very much. It's called Liberty House by With Thy Needle and Thread. And it's not a pattern I've seen a whole lot of people stitch, and it seems pretty small. It's 100 wide by 140 high. And I thought, that looks like an easy enough small project that I can do for the 4th of July. So I picked that up. I also ordered, several people showed these charts by Scattered Seed, and I'm kind of into them. So I picked up these. I like the little keys that they have in each one because I have a bunch of antique keys, well, they're not real antiques, but they look like antique keys. And I thought, you know, when I finish these, I have a finishing item I could put with them. And they're just a cute, like, spring stitch. I think the bunnies just look, they're just like a cute bunny. Like, some bunnies look kind of silly and cartoonish, and I liked how these look. So, and I like the little chicks. It's just cute. So I got those. And then I got, this is Real Comfort by Modern Folk Embroidery. And again, it looked like an easy stitch, just one color. And it's all pretty much just text. And I think it came out, they were honoring her 200th birthday. No, she passed away 200 years ago. This was released back in 2017. So this was just kind of an homage to Jane Austen. And as someone who loved to read as a kid, as an adult, I feel like I don't make the time to read, but I always want to. And usually when I go to read, I always go back to the classics. And so I would love to, I did pick up Jane Eyre recently, and I started reading it. I spent one night reading it, and it's been like a month. I remember what happened, but if I could just like clone myself, I could do all the stuff I want to do. But in my dreams, I am an avid Jane Austen reader. In reality, I'm just trying my best. So, thought that was nice. I also have heard people talk about Spool Pods for holding their 100 threes. And, oh, where did I get them from? If you just Google Spool Pods, I think it's the first site that pops up. And I had looked before, and they were sold out. And so when I went and looked a few weeks ago, they had some in stock. So then I was like, well, how many are in stock? How many will it let me add to the cart? It let me put 5 in my cart. So I got 5 of them because these Hands Across the Sea samplers call for a lot of spools. And I'm not sure I really like the plastic case where they stand vertically because you can't see the colors or the numbers on the spool. So I thought I would try this. You can fit a bobbin in these as well, like if you use bobbins. But it's just kind of a nice, and you can roll it up, take it around. They look like, if y'all ever saw those ice cube trays that they designed for like water bottles, like cylindrical ice cubes. I wonder if they still make those, because I'm thinking I could probably cram these into one of those if I can find them. I don't know. But I got the thread. The thread here is for Anne Ogston. I got this chart. I've always really liked it. And when Nicola released the 2025 Queen of the May pattern, again, I had my coupon from the red box, and so I went ahead and grabbed Anne Ogston. And I got all the threads except for 664, which apparently is sold out everywhere. That's a very popular red. I'm pretty sure I have a spool somewhere. I just, you know, when I need it, I'll find it. But I got Anne Ogston, and then, of course, the 2025 Queen of the May, which is funny because when the red box came, there was an eyeglasses case that we got in the box. And I really liked the design on the eyeglasses case. And I was like, what pattern is that? And I think I even tried to look it up. Elizabeth Stevenson. And so weeks went by, I kind of forgot about it. And I got this in the mail. And I was like, ooh, I really like it. And then that night I was brushing my teeth and I looked down and I saw the eyeglasses case. And I was like, oh, that's why I like it. It's the same chart. She was giving us a little sneak peek. So yeah, she held this up, and I think her last video Nicola did, and the colors in it look really, really nice. I still need to pick up the thread for it, but maybe I can start this May 1st if I get on it. It's the 24th. Wonder how fast 123 Stitch could get me some thread. It does not call for 664, so I think I tried to add the threads to my cart right after I got this, or right after I ordered it, and a lot of them were like sold out. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll try. I also got, so a few weeks ago, I guess it was back in February, my mom and I went to the Tinsmith's Wife in Comfort, Texas. And I had been looking for this chart. Well, I mean, I knew where I could buy it, but I had been wanting it. And Wendy had it, and I went ahead and grabbed it. And it said the shaker box on the cover you could order from lahays.com. So I got on his list. And I just have to say, this guy is so professional in all of his presentation. If you go to his website, I mean, he tells you exactly what his process is, the time frame. His marketing is amazing. He's very easy to contact, and he does beautiful work. So I got the number 3 shaker box in black. Oh, it smells so good. But anyway, I think I'm going to finish it on the inside of the lid. That's where I'm going to put the cross stitch piece. And then maybe, I don't know, do something like that, kind of like on the pattern cover. I think that's what they did. Looks like they finished it on the inside. So, really, really nice quality. And it smells so good. Okay, and then I got from Fat Quarter Shop. Look at the size of this thing. This is the Americana, well, it's a scissor minder. It's not really a needle minder at this point. I mean, I think, honestly, it could be a plate. Like, I could eat off of it. It's enormous. It's like 4 inches square. And it was super cheap because I think the April notion of the month was needle minders. So they knock a percentage off. And I think this was only like $12.87 or something. So if y'all haven't gotten one yet, go ahead and grab you one. And while I was at it, oops, hang on. While I was at it, I was like, well, I need a really big metal book stand to put this huge thing on. So I ordered Lori Holt's cookbook stand. Really nice big metal stand. Heavy, nice quality. And I can slap my plate right there. And I've got what I need. So I got that. And then while I was at it, I was like, well, I want a book to put on the book stand. I've had this in my cart for a while as well, so I went ahead and picked up Prairie Home. There are so many projects in this book. There's 257 pages. So if you're a quilter and you like Lori Holt, this is another really good quilt book to have of hers. I haven't even had a chance to look at it, so I better put it down. And the last thing I got from Fat Quarters. This, I had seen it on their website a couple of months ago, and I didn't buy it, and then it sold out. So when it came back in stock and I saw it, I was like, oh my god. So I went ahead and grabbed it. It's a sewing box made to look like a little shop. And what I was really wanting was a large box to put my cross stitch stuff in the living room, because I stitch in there. Oops. I stitch in the living room, and I keep a lot of my stuff on the end table. And Ginger comes along and she puts her whole face in things, and she is really good. She's a little thief, and so I wanted something that I had could put a lid on. So I've been kind of filling it up with anything I might need. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in the bottom yet. I was thinking snacks, like little bag of chips and some candy, but that might get the dog's attention even more. So I've just got some scissors, needles, thread conditioner. And I've got, this is like a little mascara wand. You can buy these in bulk off of Amazon for next to nothing. And when you have to unpick your stitches and it leaves little fuzzies behind, you can brush them off with a mascara wand. So that is my new cross stitch box that I'm working on filling and organizing. So, oh, and I have to share some very exciting mail. If you follow Primrose Cottage, they just came out with all these new patterns that are stitching themed, and they were so kind to send me their new patterns. They're so freaking cute. Okay, we have stitching rules, and what I really like about this one is you can stitch them into little pillows, like on the back. Because I've started Hive Rules, which is the bee theme chart that they have, and it's just sort of been a whip sitting around for a really long time, and I think it's because of the size of the pattern when it's all together. So I'm thinking, I really like how they finished them individually into pillows, so I think I might be more likely to succeed and finish these if I do them individually. But it's so cute. So, and the other thing I want to say is their charts are so nice. Like the quality, we're talking like cardstock cover, high gloss, like I would say it's at least 24-pound paper, and they print everything in color. So not only that, everything is enlarged really nicely. So if you haven't stitched Primrose, I would encourage you to pick up a copy of one of their charts and try it out, because they make stitching easy for sure. So they sent me this pattern, and then they sent me Stitching Quilt, which, how perfect is that? Really cute. They just knocked it out of the park. So cute. I cannot wait to start that. And then my favorite is the Stitching Quaker. Oh my gosh. I am chomping at the bit to start this one, and I might have to start it this weekend. Oh, it's so cute. Little bird, scissors. It's like, I mean, what more to life is there? Little DMC skeins, an embroidery hoop. It's just, oh, cute. So, definitely going to make this, for sure. And I believe in May 1st, they're doing a stitch along. So you can pick any one of these charts and stitch along with them if you want to join. They also sent me 32 count light ash gray. And I'm thinking I am going to stitch the Stitching Quaker on this. Yeah, it's 30. It calls for 28, but they sent 32. And I'm going to go ahead and do 2 strands over 2 on it. I think I need something easy, and Lugana. Is it Lugana? I guess it's just linen. But I don't know, sometimes with these really vibrant colors and fun, cute charts, it's just kind of fun to go back to the basics and do 2 over 2. So I'm gonna give that a try. And then I also have to share, they sent all the thread, like the Master Floss Pack, to make these patterns, and it's all color and cotton. Now, I've never actually stitched with color and cotton, mainly because I feel like it's hard to find. I don't have a whole lot of luck finding that in stock at any of the shops I shop at. So I'm really excited that they included this because now I feel like one of the cool kids and I can stitch along with the called for color and cotton threads. The colors are just so fun. So in addition to their charts, they also released a needle minder, which is so cute. It's a frog. Rip it. I hope that they continue doing needle minders and notions like that. I just think that's so clever and so cute. And they made stickers as well. You can get a sticker pack. I'm not sure where I'm going to stick these. I have trouble with stickers because once you stick them, they're permanent. So I'm going to have to think about where I'm going to stick these. Home stitch home. Count twice, stitch once. These look like they're from the Stitching Rules pattern. Just keep stitching. Oh my gosh. Always cross your X's. There are never too many whips. Oh, they're so fun. Enjoy each stitch. Look at the little bee. Oh, that's cute. So I got the stickers. And then what's funny is I had these in my shopping cart like the day before yesterday and I almost checked out. And it turns out they sent them to me anyway. They came out with, they're like little zipper pulls. And how clever are these? I love the Time Out one. I would need like 40 of them, but in the whip charms, I would need like 20 more of these. But I just think that is so, I mean, that's different. You don't see that anywhere right now. So I love that they're doing these. I think that's really clever. Time Out cracks me up. So thank you, Lindsay and Primrose team, for thinking of me, and I cannot wait to start these projects. They are so, so cute. I'll hold this up. I think it's okay if I share this. So if you want to join, you can go ahead and go grab one of their new charts and some thread and join us as we stitch some new charts. What else did I have? Okay, I think that's it for cross stitch. So I just have a couple of quilting things to share. It's not a whole lot, but I did start sewing again. For a while, I was just cross stitching exclusively, and I've been wanting to do some more sewing ever since I got rid of all this fabric and destashed a lot of old stuff. I've been kind of wanting to dip my toes again and get back into some projects that I've had just kind of sitting around waiting for me. So I started, if you follow my So Quilty Life on Instagram, she has a monthly, well, it's a block of the month. It's a pattern club, and every month she releases a block that is themed for that month. And so this year she's doing the 2025 Year of Sewing Machines block of the month, and when I saw it, I was in love. And I think I ordered all 12 patterns, like pre-ordered, so I get them automatically when they come out, and I've just kind of been hanging on to them and waiting for, I don't know, like I guess I was waiting for some fabric that would really work well with it. And Corey Yoder from Moda just released Abloom fabric. That's her new line, and I thought those colors are really pretty and they would match what I have in our kitchen, which is her apricot and ash fabric line. So I thought, hey, if I finish this quilt, I could put it out in the kitchen area and it would match. So I'm all caught up. I started with January. I'm so uncoordinated. Like, this is January. And I hadn't noticed right away, but all the sewing machines in these blocks are slightly different as well. So each sewing machine features a 6-inch block that's being sewn, if you will. So January is a mitten with a little tree in it. And then February is hearts. Really cute. This is March with a little clover. And April with a little bluebird. It's so cute. I really am looking forward to seeing this one finished. Her finishing pattern is super cute. In the sashing on either side of the machines, she's got like a pin cushion, and then there's like a jar, and I can't remember what else there was, but if you go to her website, you can find the information on these blocks and see. But they're really cute, and she is so creative. I don't know how she's amazing. She's young, and I swear she thinks of everything. As someone, like, I'm a technical writer by day, and so I work a lot with the way information is presented to people, like written information, and her stuff, I mean, she nails it every time on almost, I mean, everything. Like her graphic design, her color schemes. I mean, she's so consistent with everything across the board. It is so easy to just navigate all of her patterns and her website, and I don't know where she finds the time to. She just uploaded a video this morning. She was quilting, putting together a block of the month that's coming out next year, and she was up at like 11 o'clock at night, and she took the time to like film and somehow post it between 11 p.m. last night and like 9 this morning. I was like, oh my gosh, like so I want to talk about, I signed up for her flower stand block of the month, which I think was with her very first collection with Moda. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, like you just don't see this stuff. Like this is new. Like, and I've been quilting since January 2012. So I've seen a lot over the years, and after a while it gets repetitive. Like you start to see the same colors and the same designs. And so when you come across a new designer who's releasing things that are this different, it really gets you excited again to sew. So her flower stand block of the month, I'm going to share what, maybe I'll have Jake put a picture up on the screen of the finished quilt, but I got 3 blocks done, and so these are technically, so you have 2 options with the text. You could embroider, like trace and embroider, or you could order a printed panel and just sew it into the quilt. And I don't embroider well at all. I wish that I was better at it, but I got the pre-printed panel directly from her. I don't know if shops sell it or if it's just on her website, but if embroidery scares you, go and get that panel from her website. So I did the tulips block. Oops. And I can't remember what these were. I don't know. It's just so cute. And her directions are just fabulous. Lots of little pieces, a little challenging, not impossible. I want to show y'all how she packaged this block of the month, because from the beginning it was so cute the way she presented everything. So let's start with month 1. So it came in this adorable envelope. You get it with, so I went through Fat Quarter Shop for this block of the month, and they sent it, you know how Fat Quarter Shop presents their blocks of the month are already, I mean, it's already pretty. Everything's folded so neatly and displayed so nicely in the package. So this was different for me. I had never seen a block of the month program that came with such, I mean, it's such pizzazz. Like, it's a nice envelope. It has a 1 where the stamp is, so month 1. No peeking until April 19th, 2024. Obviously, I did not listen to that. But I wanted to keep the envelope nice, so I cut from the side. just thought that was really neat. Let's see. Each month you would get a little business card. And I think they spell something out, probably something like Quilt or Quilty or Quilty Life. She did giveaways for these. Of course, the giveaway is long closed and I missed out, but just really different. So as you're making your blocks, you can scan the QR code to enter the month 1 giveaway. And she does this with all of her block of the months now, by the way. So if you missed out on this one, check out some of her upcoming ones because they are equally as fun. So this is the pattern. And again, it's printed on high gloss, really nice full color, thick paper. Really nice. Oh, here's a picture of the quilt. I had never seen a quilt that created such a neat display. Like, I don't know, it's so different. I love it. So also in that pack, she gives you the template if you want to embroider. She gives you the template for the words. She also has a QR code that you can scan for video tutorials if you're stuck. She also included this really neat progress tracker for each month, like that you can check off. I mean, isn't that fun? She had YouTube lives each month, giveaways. I just think, I mean, she really goes above and beyond with her presentation and her plans, and just the whole execution is just amazing. There was a little welcome letter on nice cardstock. It really just got me excited to work on it. And then this one, I'm not sure if it's still going. This was the next block of the month that she did that started last November. I think her block of the months are like 6 months, 7. So it's possibly you can still find this. But again, just so cute. Everything she thinks of. She also shared a schedule in month 1 and a bingo card. I mean, that's fun. So I'll let y'all kind of read over what some of these are. Just fun. Just cute fun. And the last thing that was in the pack, in the envelope, y'all have seen Alphabetties from It's So Emma at Fat Quarter Shop. Heather made her own that coordinates with her colors and her fabrics. I'm not doing a good job of holding this up at all. But she like made her own like labels for, so when you're making her blocks every month, you know, as it says, you know, cut, you know, piece A, you can label piece A with the matching. So she sent it on like a, I think it was like a half sheet of paper, and it was cardstock, full color. I cut them apart with a rotary cutter and a ruler, and it's just so helpful to have that at my disposal when I'm working on these. And then I just had a little plastic bag that I'm storing them in, but it's nice to keep that with my project while I'm working on it. And I think that's about it. So, oh, here's the printed panel that you can buy from her. She also did, if you like the flower stand block of the month, she also did a cross-stitched pattern for it as well. I bought the coordinating needle minder because it was super cute. So this is the pre-printed. And you could buy the pre-printed and then just embroider over the letters if you want to do that instead of trace them. But I ironed this with steam iron and didn't have any issues. So very glad that I got that. And if you have seen, she has a new quilt along starting I think it's 2026. It's so far away. I already signed up like immediately. I went directly to her website and I signed up through her this time. I think it starts in January, but the fabric comes out, I want to say like November. But it's the quilt room. If y'all haven't seen the quilt room, oh my gosh, it's so freaking cute. There's even a little spot underneath the sewing machine on the floor. It's a little cat in a bed, but she says that there's also going to be an alternate block for a dog version. So like I've already measured this wall behind me and I can fit this quilt room quilt right on that wall. So this will have to come down when I finish the quilt room because I'm going to need that up immediately. So I think that's, oh, and I want to share too, like I've only opened months 1 and 2 of the flower stand block of the month, but the second month, it came with this really neat, I mean, like you get different things each month. Let's see if I can find it. I'm gonna get it because I think it's over here. So in month 2, I got a little surprise in my envelope. It's a cute little doorknob hanger. I mean, this girl thinks of everything, doesn't she? So if you're looking for a block of the month or a cute pattern, check out my So Quilty Life. She's on Instagram and she has an amazing website that is beautifully done. So highly recommend if you're a new quilter or you're looking for something a little different, check out Heather Briggs at my So Quilty Life. And I think that pretty much sums up the last 3 weeks. This video is a lot longer than I thought it would be, and I hope that Jake's going out of town Saturday, and I was really hoping he could edit it before he leaves, but I guess I won't hold him to it. I'm planning to be back in 3 weeks. I hope I have a little bit more cross-stitching to show, but it's hard to balance my time between all these hobbies and things I want to do, and sometimes work is just so busy or a dog gets sick and I just can't do everything I want to do. So I want to keep sharing and I want to keep filming, and it's just having that content available and something to share is kind of the main point of these videos, right? So I'll say 3 weeks. I'm going to come back in 3 weeks. Could possibly be 4. We'll see. I don't know if making these videos every month is going to be better in the long run. I've been working on a t-shirt quilt for Jake's parents. So if you're following my t-shirt quilt series on YouTube, I'm hoping to have the second video up in the next couple of weeks. I need to have his parents come and lay out these quilt blocks so that I know exactly where everything needs to be. I just want to make sure I have their input on a few things. So that won't happen until possibly the middle of May, but if I am still planning on doing that series. It's just, I know it's been a while because I released the first video and then went silent, but yeah, still working on that. I hope everyone is well and getting a lot of stitching done. I hope everyone had a good Easter, and I am gonna go back to quilting customer quilts, and I don't have any new emails that I could see. So maybe now I can finally go have that coffee that I was gonna make. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hi everyone, I am Carrie, and I am here to share my, God damn it. It's already 2 o'clock and I really want an espresso, and I've been waiting all day to have it, so I better hurry up and get going. That was terrible. I can make that clap a lot better. I see the side eye she's giving me. She's like, what are you doing?